Hello and welcome to another edition of Between the T's, the knowledge sharing program from Texas Bank and Trust. I'm your host, Karen Partee. Today's segment is sponsored by the Trust and Investment Division of Texas Bank and Trust. A lifetime of hard work and prudent financial decisions has brought you to where you are today. But do you have a plan for tomorrow? The Trust and Investment Division of Texas Bank and Trust offers a full range of specialized financial services to assist individuals and businesses in creating and preserving wealth. Services include personal trust, estate administration, investment management, natural resource management, and retirement plans. Establishing a personal trust, whether during your lifetime or under the terms of your will, helps to ensure your assets are managed properly when the time comes for your final wishes to be fulfilled. Our professional team of trusted advisors will work closely with you and your beneficiaries to provide you with the greatest gift of all during this time, peace of mind. The Trust and Investment Division of Texas Bank and Trust. Investment products offered by the Trust and Investment Division are not deposits of Texas Bank and Trust, not insured by the FDIC or any government agency, not guaranteed by the bank, and may go down in value. Well, it seems another year has come and gone, and as we start the new year, we often use this time to stop and reflect on the past and begin making critical decisions about the future. So whether you've already started making promises to yourself to work harder, get organized, save more, or weigh less, you know this may be an important time as you set life goals that you hope to achieve over the next 12 months. This year, I want to challenge you about setting more long-term goals such as planning for your financial future. Whether you need to start building your nest egg for retirement or to continue protecting your assets to leave a greater legacy, having a comprehensive estate plan may just be the key to getting started. Tomorrow often comes sooner than we expect, so therefore, planning can be a critical part of what we all do today. So joining us today to discuss the benefits of proper estate planning as well as other valuable trust services is TBT's Senior Vice President and Assistant Trust Manager, Mr. Craig Chaikin. Craig, thank you for being on today's program. It's an absolute pleasure for you to start off our new year.
It's my honor.
Well, I want to get started by asking you to tell us just a little bit more about what the Trust Division does in terms of serving the people. How do you help businesses, individuals, and families?
Well, in the Trust Department, we have many services, most of which you mentioned, but just to recap, we have investment management for both individuals and corporate clients. We have real estate and mineral management. We have corporate retirement plan services such as 401k and profit sharing plans. And we, of course, have trust and estate administration.
So, speaking of estate planning, you know, when we start the discussion about looking forward to the future, estate planning and writing a will, there are those who assume that you have to be extremely wealthy to be engaging in that practice. Can you dispel the myths of that thought process?
Karen, everyone needs a will, regardless of their net worth. You may not have a large sum of money to pass down to your heirs, but perhaps you have heirlooms that are very near and dear to the family that you want to go to certain family members. In the case of couples that have minor children, a will can provide a roadmap to the guardianship of those children in the event of an untimely death.
Well, that's an interesting point you raised because I do have a small son, 9 years old, and so are you saying if I don't identify, if I had no will, that I wouldn't get to determine or a family member wouldn't get to step in and say they're going to take guardianship of my son?
Well, a family member could step in, and in fact, the court would probably want a family member. However, which family member? Grandmothers, on which side of the family, aunts, uncles, cousins. Without that information, the court's going to have to make that determination, and it may not be the individual or individuals that you would have chosen.
Okay, so let me start talking about my estate plan then. What would be the logical first step to building a comprehensive plan?
Well, the logical first step would be to hire an estate planning attorney, preferably one that's board certified or one that has many years of estate planning experience. There are online legal tools available. However, a one-size-fits-all solution is not really what you need in an estate plan. You need an estate planner who can sit down with you, ask probative questions, and determine what's best for you as an individual or a couple.
Okay, I would assume that everybody has a different estate. Some are complex, some are a little more simple. Are there certain documents, you've mentioned the will and even guardianship for minors, are there any other specific documents that we need to include in our estate plan?
Yes, when you go to see an estate planning attorney, you're going to walk away with a suite of documents. In that suite should include a medical power of attorney, a living will perhaps, a general power of attorney, and in fact even some guardianship papers. They may not the guardianship document may not be immediately executable, but in the event of your long-term incapacity, it can be used in court.
For those who still believe that they are not right for estate planning, what would you say would be the greatest concern of not taking this step for your financial future?
In the event that you die without a will, you would die intestate. And in Texas, if you die intestate, the Texas Probate Code would determine how your assets are distributed. Well, the Probate Code was created by lawmakers. They know nothing about you and your individual situation. So any wishes that you may have had will not be followed because they have to follow the code.
Okay, well, setting up personal trust is a significant part of the work that you do in the Trust and Investment Division. Can you tell us a little bit about what a trust is and who would be right for or who would truly benefit from having a trust in place?
Well, a trust is a fiduciary arrangement between the trustee who holds the assets and the beneficiary. As far as different types of trusts and who could benefit, it really depends on the type of trust. In general, there are two types of trusts we see most often. One is a living trust, which, as the name would infer, is created during lifetime, and a testamentary trust, which is created at your death under your will. With regard to a living trust, those are generally created by people for asset management and protection. They can also be created to provide for asset administration during incapacity. And in the event you own assets in other states, perhaps even an ancillary probate elimination by using the trust instead of having to go to those different states.
Okay, and then a testamentary?
Testamentary trust would be created, as I said, under will, and there are many uses for that. For example, if you have a child that is a spendthrift, that has trouble managing money, you can place their assets or their inheritance in trust, and the trustee can help them manage that money. If you have a child that potentially might become divorced and you don't want their inheritance being part of a divorce settlement, you can put that money in trust. If you have a child or a family member that has tax issues, an IRS lien, if you were to give them that money outright, that money might go directly to the government to settle that debt. That's a possibility. In some cases, family members are disabled. You could set up a special needs trust for a family member, and money would go in trust for that individual, and that money that you left would not supersede and or conflict with any government benefits they may be receiving and cause them to be disqualified in any way.
What types of assets should go into the trust once it's set up?
Just about any type of asset can go into a trust. However, the most common are real estate assets, mineral assets, financial assets, and in some cases personal property, perhaps even jewelry, things of that nature.
Well, there are many other services that you provide through your division here at the bank. Tell us, though, about the investment options that you have available to clients.
Well, in the Trust and Investment Division, we partner, the administrator and the portfolio manager, we partner together with the client to create a comprehensive investment strategy that suits that client. And it's as fiduciaries in the trust department, not only do we craft an investment plan that is suitable for the client, but in the best interests of the client in the short term and the long term.
Well, certainly a wealth of information, Craig, that you provided us today, and I know certainly a benefit to many of our viewers out there if they did not have all the details about estate planning, trust, and even the investment options that you can provide for them. So I certainly thank you for coming and sharing some of your knowledge with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And if you'd like to learn a little bit more about the services that are provided through the Trust and Investment Division of Texas Bank and Trust, log on to our website at www.texasbankandtrust.com and click on the Trust and Investment tab. That's all the time that we have for today's segment of Between the T's. Once again, I'd like to thank our special guest, Mr. Craig Chaikin, Senior Vice President and Assistant Trust Manager in the Trust and Investment Division of Texas Bank and Trust. Please join us next time as we continue to explore ways to help you take control of your financial world for today and tomorrow. Until then, remember, knowledge is power when it's shared between the T's. I'm Karen Partee. Thanks for watching.